How ultra-processed foods affect your brain. Have you ever stopped to think about what's happening inside your brain every time you eat a cookie or drink that soda? The truth is, while these ultra-processed foods may seem harmless, they could be silently causing permanent damage to your brain. It's frightening to think that what you consume daily could be compromising your memory, your reasoning abilities, and even increasing your risk of diseases like Alzheimer's. The good news is that, with the right information, you can avoid this path. But the reality is counterintuitive. The more convenient and tasty these foods appear, the greater the hidden risks they carry. We're talking about inflammation, neurodegeneration, and cognitive decline that can begin early and go unnoticed. Want to protect your mind and avoid these damages? Throughout this video, you'll discover how simple and powerful choices can transform your diet and protect your brain from these risks. You'll realize that it's never too late to start. If you care about your memory, attention, and your future, stay with us until the end to discover what really happens when ultra-processed foods invade your daily life. And the best part, I'll show you how to reverse these damages in a practical and accessible way. Definition of ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods, like filled cookies and sodas, have become a part of many people's routines. These products, which undergo a series of industrial transformations, are filled with additives such as sugar, trans fats, and preservatives. What may seem like a simple food choice actually hides significant health risks. Behind the convenience, there is an impact that goes far beyond weight gain. We are talking about problems that affect brain function. The constant consumption of these foods has a direct effect on the brain that goes beyond physical inflammation. Trans fats and excess sugar create a dangerous environment within the body, contributing to the development of chronic diseases like Alzheimer's. But did you know the impact goes even further? Studies show that these food choices affect memory and cognition. This means that over time, what seems harmless, like a quick meal, could cost you a lot in terms of mental health. Science has already proven that diets rich in ultra-processed foods are associated with a higher risk of cognitive decline. And it's not hard to understand why. The human body simply wasn't designed to handle the chemical load of these products. This translates into brain inflammation, which affects the brain's ability to function properly, interfering with synaptic plasticity, something essential for learning and memory. In other words, eating a quick snack without thinking about the consequences could be compromising your ability to remember, think, and learn. Moreover, ultra-processed foods not only alter the brain, but also change eating behavior. They are formulated to create a vicious cycle where the body craves more and more, making it harder to control what you consume. This makes it much more difficult to adopt a brain-healthy diet. And it's at this point that many people end up trapped in a cycle of poor choices. To break free from this cycle, it's important to recognize the traps and be prepared for smart substitutions. Speaking of substitutions, giving up ultra-processed foods may seem like a big challenge at first, but there are healthier options within reach. Fruits, vegetables, and whole foods not only nourish the body properly, but also support mental health. By swapping processed foods for more natural choices, you protect your brain from the inflammation and neurodegeneration that could compromise your quality of life. This is just the beginning, as understanding the effects on the brain goes beyond basic nutrition. Number 2. Effects of ultra-processed foods on brain health. Ultra-processed foods may seem harmless at first glance, but their effects on the brain are deep and harmful. Chronic inflammation, which often begins silently, is one of the main outcomes of this type of diet. The continuous consumption of these products increases inflammation levels in the body, creating a hostile environment for neurons. This inflammation has been linked to the development of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, directly affecting brain function. Have you ever wondered how your diet influences your memory? The hippocampus, a crucial region of the brain responsible for forming new memories, is one of the areas most affected by ultra-processed foods. Studies indicate that excessive consumption of these products can accelerate cognitive decline, compromising essential skills like memory and learning. Imagine losing the ability to remember recent events or navigate familiar places. simply because of what you choose to eat every day. Additionally, ultra-processed foods also affect synaptic plasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and form new connections. This plasticity is fundamental for learning and memory, and its loss significantly compromises cognitive function. Neurodegeneration begins slowly and often goes unnoticed until it's too late. Small changes in behavior, such as difficulty concentrating and memory lapses, can be signs that the brain is being overloaded by these foods. But not all is lost. By reducing the consumption of these foods, the body begins to respond positively. Inflammation can be controlled, and the brain can be protected. Replacing ultra-processed foods with healthier options might be the key to preserving your cognitive functions in the long term. It's like taking a conscious step towards mental health, knowing that your choices today can impact your future. As we dive deeper into this topic, it becomes clear that diet plays a vital role in brain health. But the damage caused by ultra-processed foods is not limited to the hippocampus or inflammation. They affect different areas of the brain in surprising ways, and understanding these nuances is crucial to protecting the mind from decline. Let's explore how sugars and trans fats directly influence dementia. 3. The role of sugars and trans fats in dementia. Sugars, especially those found in ultra-processed foods, have a devastating impact on the brain. When consumed in excess, they elevate blood glucose levels, triggering a process called advanced glycation, which damages cells and proteins. This directly affects brain functions, creating an environment conducive to the development of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Have you ever heard Alzheimer's referred to as type 3 diabetes? This nickname emerged due to insulin resistance in the brain, an effect caused by excessive sugar in the diet. In addition to sugar, trans fats, widely found in fried and processed foods, pose a silent danger to mental health. These fats interfere with communication between brain cells, contributing to the formation of beta-amyloid plaques, substances directly linked to the death of neurons and the progression of Alzheimer's. It's as if these plaques create blockages in the brain's information flow, disrupting the ability to think clearly and remember simple facts. The effects of these two components, sugar and trans fats, are cumulative. Over time, constant exposure to these foods damages brain cells, leading to premature brain aging and increasing the risk of dementia. The issue here isn't just about what you eat today, but the cumulative effect of your dietary choices over the years. Every ultra-processed meal is a small step toward cognitive decline. If you've noticed any difficulty remembering names, dates, or even common words, it could be a sign that your diet is taking its toll. The brain needs proper nutrients to function correctly, and diets rich in sugars and trans fats hinder this process. The good news is that making dietary changes like reducing these components can help protect the brain from future damage and improve mental health in the long term. As we move forward, we'll see how science has been investigating this impact in studies that reveal alarming data on the consumption of these foods and the risk of cognitive decline. After all, scientific evidence may hold the key to better understanding how these substances affect the brain and how avoiding them can preserve your cognitive functions. 4. Relevant scientific studies. Recent scientific studies have clearly shown the link between the consumption of ultra-processed foods and cognitive decline. A 2022 study by the University of São Paulo followed 10,000 individuals over a decade, and the results are alarming. Those who consumed more than 20% of their daily calories from ultra-processed foods experienced a 28% faster decline in cognitive functions, such as memory and attention. This data highlights the devastating impact of these foods on the brain, reinforcing the need for dietary changes. Another relevant study, conducted by the National Institute on Aging in the United States, revealed that diets high in ultra-processed foods increase the risk of developing dementia by 25%. The research focused on how these foods accelerate the degradation of cognitive functions, especially in older adults. This makes us reflect on how much our daily diet may be influencing the aging of our brain in a silent but dangerous way. The impact isn't just on cognition, but also on behavior. A study published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease indicated that individuals who maintained diets high in trans fats and sugar had greater difficulty with simple cognitive tasks, such as remembering short lists or solving basic problems. The research highlights that these substances present in ultra-processed foods directly affect communication between neurons, interfering with essential mental processes. In addition to these studies, another significant study was published in the Journal of Neurology, Neurosurgery and Psychiatry, which highlighted the link between increased brain inflammation and the consumption of ultra-processed foods. The inflammation, caused by excess additives and preservatives, affects brain plasticity, impairing the brain's ability to learn and adapt. These scientific findings are a warning about how a nutrient-poor diet can compromise mental health and longevity. As science progresses, it becomes increasingly clear that the consumption of ultra-processed foods is not just a metabolic problem, but a cognitive one as well. By understanding these studies, we can begin to make more informed decisions about our diet and protect the brain from long-term damage. But what can we do to reduce the consumption of these foods and protect our brain health? There are simple changes that can have a significant impact on the future. 5. How to reduce ultra-processed food consumption and protect your brain. The first and most important change to protect your brain is to opt for whole and natural foods. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and high-quality proteins are essential for a healthy diet. By replacing ultra-processed foods with minimally processed options, you are nourishing your brain with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that help reduce brain inflammation. A simple adjustment in your diet, such as swapping a processed snack for a piece of fruit, can make a big difference in the long run. Another powerful strategy is to increase fiber intake. Foods like oats, beans, lentils, and chia seeds are rich in fiber, which helps regulate blood sugar levels, preventing glucose spikes that can damage the brain. Additionally, fibers promote slower digestion, meaning the body has time to absorb the nutrients necessary to maintain brain function. Gut health is directly connected to brain health, and including more fiber in your diet is a simple way to care for both. Educating yourself about the dangers of ultra-processed foods is essential for making more conscious decisions. Many people are unaware of the impact these foods have on mental health, and it's easy to fall into the trap of choosing convenient options. Reading labels, avoiding ingredients like trans fats and added sugars, and prioritizing fresh foods are steps anyone can take. This awareness of what you eat is one of the greatest allies in preventing neurodegenerative diseases. In addition to educating yourself, moderation is key. Reducing ultra-processed foods drastically may seem challenging, but small, gradual changes are effective. Start by cutting down on sodas and ultra-processed snacks. Instead, opt for snacks like nuts, fruits, or natural yogurt. These substitutions may seem small, but over time, they help significantly improve brain health and reduce the risks of cognitive decline. Reflecting on all of this, it becomes clear that protecting your brain is a matter of daily choices. Replacing ultra-processed foods with natural and healthy options strengthens the brain and combats neurodegeneration. As we better understand the effects of these choices on our mental health, we become more prepared to act. And these changes don't have to be complicated. Adopting an anti-inflammatory diet is the first step to a mentally healthy future. Now that you understand the devastating impact of ultra-processed foods on your brain, the big question is, what are you going to do about it? Will you continue choosing convenience at the expense of your mental health? Or will you start making conscious decisions to protect your future? Remember, every small choice makes a difference. Replacing foods full of additives with natural options could be the first step to preventing neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and keeping your mind sharp. So, how about starting right now? What simple changes can you make in your daily life to take better care of your brain? Leave your ideas in the comments, and let's build a community that prioritizes mental health together. And of course, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to keep receiving content like this that can transform your life. And if you want to learn more about how to take care of your health, especially if you're over 50, I recommend watching the video How to Control High Blood Pressure Naturally, Tips for Those Over 50, which is already available on the channel. See you there.